What's up, guys? Neil Orfield here, taking a look at Stokastic's NFL DFS lineup generator for the Week 17 main slate. I'm going to look at both DraftKings and FanDuel in this video, and then I'm going to spend 1 minute maybe at the end just taking a look at Saturday Night Football. I haven't even looked to see if it is actually live in the lineup generator, but if we have the Cowboys-Lions game live in the lineup generator, we'll take a look at that very briefly at the end as well. But I'm going to start by taking a look at DraftKings FanDuel main slate for Week 17. While you're coming in, please like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel if you haven't already done so, and hit that notification button so you can get alerts when our shows go live. If you want to sign up for the lineup generator, I recommend running it yourself within 60 minutes of lock. You can find the link in the description of this video. It's $14.95 per week. That includes DraftKings and FanDuel, main slate, every primetime show on Slate, all included in the lineup generator. Good chance to check it out now at the end of the season. So find the link in the description, $14.95 per week. All right, DraftKings main slate is where we're going to start. I'm going to do all stack types, which is just a mix of one man's, two man's, some with a run back, some without. Also going to do all lineup types. We're going to get a mix of chalky, balanced, and contrarian lineups. All right, first lineup we get here is a Lamar Jackson double stack with Zay Flowers and Isaiah Likely. No Dolphin bringbacks. We've got Devin Singletary and Javonte Williams as the running backs. Rashee Rice, Chris Godwin, Clyde Edwards-Helaire also in there. And then the Giants defense against the Rams. This one projects for 133.5 fantasy points, 109% total ownership, uses basically the full salary cap. Looks like a nice lineup to me. Of course, we're only getting lineups that were showing up as profitable in the Stokastic Sims. That's all you're going to get in the lineup generator. And any lineup that is not profitable in the Stokastic Sims has been thrown out. So this is one that shows up profitable there. All right, let's take a look at the next lineup. Kyler Murray with Trey McBride and Michael Wilson. We have no Hollywood Brown this week, so Michael Wilson probably popping up a little bit more than usual. Trey McBride just absolutely crushing it lately. We do not have any Eagles bringbacks. So first two we look at, no runbacks. We've got Christian McCaffrey in here, Zamir White, which that's, of course, pretty dependent on Josh Jacobs, who, as far as I know, is still questionable. Chris Olave, we got Demario Douglas, Zay Flowers, and then we have the Panthers defense in this one. 134.5 projection, 102% total ownership, uses full salary cap. All right, next lineup we have here we have Brock Purdy double stack with Christian McCaffrey and George Kittle. We do have a Curtis Samuel run back in this one. We've got Javonte Williams in the other running back slot, Michael Pittman, Devontae Parker, Gerald Everett, and the Texans defense projects for 136 fantasy points, 108% total ownership. They've all been pretty tight in terms of both ownership and projection. The three that we've looked at so far, all very similar there. All right, now I'm just going to go through and save until we get to the end and see what our final exposures look like. All right, there we go. We got to 42% Christian McCaffrey, 38% Zamir White, 33% each of Javonte Williams and Trey McBride, 28% Demario Douglas, 25% Rashee Rice, Michael Pittman, and Gerald Everett, 20% Saquon Barkley, a couple Bucks guys, a lot of players represented here, and I think we got to 40 lineups here. Yeah, we got 40 lineups, so a lot of different players represented here. Kind of surprised to see how many Patriots we're getting against the Bills. I guess just Demario Douglas at the top. I noticed that we got a Devontae Parker in there as well. Yeah, there we go. 12% Devontae Parker as well. So sort of interesting to see how much we're getting to the Patriots against the Bills here. All right, let's take a look at some FanDuel lineups for the main slate to start. Going to do all stack types, all lineup types. First lineup we get here is a Geno Smith to JSN single stack. We have, I think they're playing the Steelers this week. I don't see any Steelers runbacks. We got Christian McCaffrey and Devin Singletary as the running backs. Michael Pittman in there. Terry McLaurin and Logan Thomas both there for the Commanders. We have CEH in the flex, and then the Broncos defense projecting for 118, 102% total ownership. All right, next lineup, we get a Will Levis lineup with DeAndre Hopkins and Treylon Burks. We have Dalton Schultz as the run back from the Texans. Christian McCaffrey and James Cook are the running backs. Zay Flowers in there as well for wide receiver. We have Javonte and Broncos defense, a little added correlation there. 113.5 projection, 97% total ownership on this one. All right, one more. Jalen Hurts with Devontae Smith, and then we have Trey McBride as the run back in this one. We got James Cook and CEH, Noah Brown in there, Demario Douglas again, Zamir White, Seahawks defense. All right, let's take a look at one more. Tyrod Taylor with Wan'Dale Robinson. Okay, interesting. Did not expect to see a Tyrod Taylor Wan'Dale Robinson stack, but shows up as plus EV. James Cook and Chuba Hubbard are the running backs. Deebo Samuel, Demario Douglas, Travis Kelce, Javonte Williams, Ravens defense in this one. All right, let's go through and they're playing the Rams, I believe, and I don't see any Rams run backs. All right, I'm just going to go through and save, see what our final exposures look like. Looks like we're getting to 40 again. Got to 40% CEH, 38% Jalen Hurts, 35% Dallas Goedert, 33% Zamir White, 28% each of James Cook and Travis Kelce, and a nice mix of players across our 40 lineups here on FanDuel. All right, we're going to take a quick look to see if it is available for Saturday Night Football already. So look at the DraftKings Showdown slate. I'm going to do all lineups, which is going to be a mix of chalky, balanced, contrarian. And I'm not going to set any, not going to choose a game script. You can choose your game script here. So if you think both teams it's going to be a shootout, you can choose this top option. You're going to be a dud, you can choose this bottom option, whatever game script you want. I just like to do standard projections typically. All right, it is all ready to go. First lineup we look at, although I guess we don't have projections in here right now. First lineup we look at Jahmyr Gibbs. We got David Montgomery and Jameson Williams from the Lions, and we have Brandon Aubrey, CeeDee Lamb, and Jake Ferguson for the Cowboys. 149% total ownership, leaves 1,800 on the table. Looks good to me. No quarterbacks in this one, so we don't need to worry about correlation at all. Looks like a nice lineup to me. All right, leaving 800 on the table, we have Sam Laporta in the captain spot. We have Jared Goff, so we got the stack there. We've also got Amon-Ra St. Brown and tight end James Mitchell here for the Lions. And we have Dak and Jake Ferguson stack. Leaves 800 on the table. 169% total ownership. Amon-Ra St. Brown in the captain spot. We do not have Jared Goff in this one. So we've got kind of the star power of the Lions with Amon-Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Sam Laporta. No quarterback. And then we have Brandon Cooks and Tony Pollard for the Cowboys, along with Deuce Vaughn is in there. Interesting. Did not notice Deuce Vaughn right away. 16% ownership going to Deuce Vaughn. That's kind of interesting. I have to dig into that a little bit more later on. Looks good though. Leaves 2,900 on the table. 140% total ownership. Now I'm just going to go through, save our lineups, see what our final exposures look like. All right, we got to 55% CeeDee Lamb, 50% Jake Ferguson, 42% Sam Laporta, and then several players, 33% or lower, represented in our lineups. All right, now I'm going to look at FanDuel as well really quickly. FanDuel single game. All lineups, standard projections. First lineup we get here, Tony Pollard. This is interesting. Tony Pollard in the MVP, no other Cowboys in the lineup. We then have Sam Laporta, Jameson Williams, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Amon-Ra St. Brown. No Jared Goff in this one. So kind of interesting. All the big skill players, or several of the big skill players for the Lions, with Tony Pollard as the MVP. We are leaving 4,500 on the table, so not going to be duped much, if at all. Looks like a really nice large field GPP lineup to me. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Jalen Tolbert in the MVP spot. We do have Dak there, so we complete the stack. We've got CeeDee Lamb, Sam Laporta, and Tony Pollard. Only leaves 500 on the table. I still don't think many people are going to dupe this one because not many people are playing Jalen Tolbert in the MVP. Remember, there is no multiplier in the MVP spot, so it's just your regular salary. So Jalen Tolbert actually has to be the highest scoring player in this lineup for it to win. So not a lot of people going to be betting on Jalen Tolbert outscoring CeeDee Lamb, Dak Prescott, Sam Laporta, and Tony Pollard. So I do think this, probably not going to be duped a ton. Looks like a fine large field GPP lineup. I'm a little bit concerned about only leaving 500 on the table, but again, I think because Tolbert is in the MVP spot, probably not a ton of people will have it. All right, now this one we are leaving 7,500 on the table. We've got Jared Goff. I don't like it. I wouldn't play this one. And you can kind of be picky with your lineups in the lineup generator because they're all long-term profitable in the Stokastic Sims. You can just they're not ranked at all. You can skip over any lineup you don't like. I don't like having Jared Goff in the MVP spot without any pass catchers here. We just have Michael Badgley, the kicker, is the only other Lion in this lineup. Tony Pollard, Jake Ferguson, Brandon Aubrey. I'm going to skip this. I wouldn't use this one. This one looks better. We have Sam Laporta in the MVP spot. We got David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, and Jameson Williams, and then CeeDee Lamb from the Cowboys. Leaves 2,500 on the table. I have no issues with the correlations here. This looks much better to me. I like this lineup. All right, now I'm just going to go through and save, see what our final exposures look like on FanDuel. 64% CeeDee Lamb, so he's our highest exposed on both sites for the Saturday Night Football slate. 51% Pollard and Amon-Ra St. Brown. 44% Sam Laporta. Then we drop down to several players in the 30% range and lower represented in our lineups. All right, that is going to do it. Hit that like button if you haven't already. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching, and good luck tonight.